We started the stream. Welcome, boys, girls, ladies and gentlemen, everything in between. We are having a more exclusive talk between the elite members of the Discord. Shout out to the Discords. Welcome, guys. It's just going to be me and Adam talking. We're going over his 25 now footage, but I will also be looking in the chat, the Zoom chat. If anybody wants to join the Discord, type in the Twitch chat exclamation point Discords. Or go to any of my YouTube videos, you'll find the fucking, whatever it's called, the link. Alright. Oh, hi, Rafa.
Hey.
Hello, Rafa.
Alright, let's fucking do it. We're playing 2 tables of 25 and 0. What stakes do you normally play?
So I haven't been playing for a while. I've mostly been playing live 1-2 for the last, how many months. Before that I was playing mostly 50 NL, but it's been a while, so I decided to drop down.
I like it. This is going to be tougher than playing 1-2 live for sure.
Yeah.
Poker got tough, but except it's still kind of easy.
But we have to be tougher.
Alright, so thoughts behind 3-betting or flatting?
Okay, so where are you sharing the stream? The screen? Sorry?
Oh, fucking
Do I need to look at your stream?
No, I'm being an idiot. There we go.
Okay, no worries.
Alright, you got it.
Cool.
So
Cool. Alright. So thoughts between 3-betting flatting with the King Jack, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it can go either way. I decided to flat based on the fact that there's a wreck in the big blind.
That's it. That's all I wanted to hear. Perfect. Done. Next.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I would almost always 3-bet, except when there's a recreational in the big blind. So perfect. Please check. All right. Tell me everything that goes through that beautiful smooth head of yours.
Okay, so the short version is I definitely want to bet. I have a reasonable hand. It's unlikely that the pre-flop aggressor would have a better hand to check.
Yeah.
And the big blind doesn't have many hands that are better anyway, just because of their range. So I usually have the best hand here.
Yeah.
And I want to bet to get value. I wasn't sure exactly what size to go. I feel like it's not really a spot where I want to induce a lot of check raises. So I think I just want to bet kind of big here. Maybe like 4.5.
I like it. So you definitely want to be thinking about what kind of hands you want to get called by. That's the only thing I'd add there. Like, what is my opponent's range? What am I going to get back? What am I going to do about it? So,
sure. And I guess it's mostly like flush draws, 9x,
and worst King X, yeah. So those are the three exact hands that I'd be thinking about. Maybe Jack 10, Queen 10, Queen Jack from the big blinds, but probably not even. Also worth noting, a concept for anybody listening worth writing down is that this guy over here, Twitch and Zoom can see my mouse, right? Yeah. He's probably a professional. He's got the fucking deuces. He's sitting above 100 big blinds. He's probably just like a grinder at 25 now. He probably has this guy labeled as a recreational player because he's sitting less than 100 bigs and he plays this pool regularly. So he's gonna be value betting all of his fucking aces, ace king. He ain't gonna be checking his value hands because the main value in the hand for him is from this whale in the big blind. So that pretty much means we near 100% have the best hand versus this guy. We can put ourselves on the level above the 25 Zoom players. It's not a hard level to find. So we can definitely still get value from both of these players. You can still have queens, jacks, 10-9, ace-9, whatever. And then the big blind can have all of like the king 3s, king deuces, king 5s, king 6. It's a recreational player. You might have the offsuit combos every now and again. So based on all of that, you have a few options. You can either only get value from King X and flush draws, or you can choose to also include the 9X and the gut shots as well. So that's how I would approach that, and either would be fine, but as long as the thought process is there. So a little bit more range analysis when it comes to your thought process would probably be welcome. Although I do understand you are on a call in front of people, and it's not easy to always get the words out. Oh, you're fine with that. You're fucking theatre guy, aren't you? Sure. Let's see what you did. Oh. One thing that I'm feeling already is that to crush a stake, you need to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have that I am the king kind of energy. Like, I am here to teach these motherfuckers a lesson. I'm here to take their kids' pocket money. I'm here to take every last penny that they got. and that doesn't mean that you're arrogant enough to believe there isn't room for improvement. But it is like a strong confidence goes such a long way. I can't. It's hard to put into words how much that's important. But even umming and ahhing in such a
whatever spot,
whatever spot, it shows to me that you're probably not believing in yourself enough.
Probably true.
I like it. All right. So given all that I said before, I believe this is very likely a bluff. Just so you know, but. That being said, the sizing looks kind of valuey, so never mind. So now I'm a lot more unsure. Just cool.
Our hand is a click call anyway.
We're just calling it anyway. Cool, decide turns. People don't usually bluff this spot, which kind of goes against what I said before. It's like a very unique spot. So whatever. I'm not going to talk about this. Whether you think these more value heavy or more bluff heavy, there's good arguments in both directions. And
I was thinking about fuck you folding the turn, and then I was like, if he has like a combo draw, he probably gives up river a lot, right?
I think that's the main reason I would call too, is that our range is really strong when we call. And I don't think people have it in them to go for the triple hit.
Particularly on this river.
Yeah, that's a nice river to do it. That's a nice check raise from him though. That's a really, really well played hand. Yeah, the sizing on the flop definitely felt pretty fucking value heavy. But I like how you played it. I forgot to change the replay, so I can only skip forward 30 seconds or none. Yeah, hand's a little bit too good to 3-bet. I wouldn't be surprised if some chart says you meant to, but fuck charts.
I just go like super polar in this spot.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
So in the big blind, when small blind opens, I like to mostly 3-bet like the really good stuff and then some like kind of random shit.
I like to base my 3-bet blind versus blind range around how well I perform versus a 4-bet. So I love to 3-bet 10-9 suited because I love calling a 4-bet with 10-9 suited. I will have some polar stuff as well, the odd like king 8 off, fucking 10-2 suited, stuff like that. But a lot of the hands I 3-bet, I'm happy to call a 4-bet. You don't need to balance it particularly well, especially at these stakes.
Sure.
25 and L does get to the point where you want to be 3-bet bluffing a little bit less than other stakes, just because people get really fucking sticky. Yeah, what are you betting in for?
So, I was unsure whether I want to check and then try and get value on later streets or bet now, but I figured that his checks on this flop would be a lot of ace highs, 8x under pairs, that kind of thing, and I want to get value from those hands while it's possible, because it's probably not going to be possible on later streets.
Yeah, I like it. Not too much ace x will call. Like he'll call if he has like ace 9 with a heart maybe, or maybe ace 9 off. I don't know, but not.
It's a little ambitious.
Ace queen and ace 10 are definitely in there. Sometimes if they don't see that. But yeah, you have the best hand, decent amount. So whatever. Betting's fine, checking's fine. This hand plays pretty well as a check in general, just because the fucking name any bad turn apart from an ace. But yeah, whatever. Oh my goodness. Alright, so he check calls. Tell me everything that goes through your skull.
So this is a turn where I think it's very natural to just check a lot, because I'm perceived to not have a jack very often.
Okay.
So then it's a question of whether I can get value by betting, whether it looks kind of more dodgy or less dodgy. My thought process in game I remember was, okay, well if I check, it looks like I just check all of my air and then I can go massive on the river because I just clearly have loads of air. And that's what I ended up doing. But I'm not sure about it in hindsight because in reality they're probably more inelastic than that at the stake.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect analysis of why it's not a good check. The inelasticity of if he has a king here is just going to be gargunction. It's you can't escape the fact that if he's got king 10, he's going to pay you 3 streets and three big streets as well. So yeah, I'm always betting here and whatever. I don't hate the check. I don't hate the thought process behind it. It's just the assumption that you can get paid loads on few streets isn't quite right. Because,
and it just doesn't outweigh the fact that I'm just going to get paid loads if I bet and they have a king. Yeah.
And they also kind of never bluff this line as well, no matter what the river is. You never get any bluffs by checking the river. I do like if you're live and you're taking this line. This is the perfect spot to tank for ages. It's the perfect spot to literally just fucking stare at the board, stare at the person. The bet check bet line in these kind of spots, especially against recreational players or bad regs, or egotistical regs especially, that it's one of those spots where if you snap bet, it looks like you had a plan the whole time. And yeah, but if you're like tanking, then they might be like, oh, he's putting me on something weak and he's trying to move me off it. Intuitively, I just feel like this is the perfect spot, and there aren't too many of these, but perfect spot to fucking tank for, again, just live, but tank for fucking 20 seconds, stare at the guy, and then just 2x pot. And start shaking as well. Just fucking go for it. Just look like you're having a seizure. I saw my friend Kate Hall once play, and she literally was hyperventilating after shoving a river and got paid, and it was a fake hyperventilation. It was like the most atrocious acting I've ever seen in my life, but it still fucking worked. It was fantastic. Perfect. All right. We got aces and ace king. We opened. Do you have a different opening size than any of your hands?
I didn't actually use one. I know that it's kind of nice to, but I don't really understand like the exact logic in each spot, because it feels like when you got aces, it's like you want to keep them around, but you also want to get more of them out of them pre. And I'm a little bit confused about that, to be honest.
With specifically aces, you just want to keep them around more than anything. The queens and stuff, ace king, you can make some other arguments, but specifically aces, it's like if you can make them call king 3 offsuit in the big blinds, it's the fucking dream.
I see.
So yeah, I'd probably like exactly min raise aces in on 25. On higher stakes, I might go bigger, but whatever. All right, Adam, tell me your thought process, and everybody in the chat, in the Zoom chat, as I'm only paying attention to the Zoom chat today. Then get your answer in the chat. How much would you bet with the aces?
Oh, you mean you wouldn't check? Really? I decided there are loads of hands that I can get called by. I have the ace of spades, which makes it a bit worse, but there's still loads of hands that can call. Got any king, any jack is going to continue, any queen 10, any spades, and there's loads of like gut shots and floats that can call. And we've already tagged the big blind as a rec, so I decided to go, I think, close to pot. I think is the size I went for. I think over betting is probably a little bit overdoing it, but I think close to pot, maybe like 70-80% is about right.
I like it. Yeah, just anything that jack's definitely going to call, which could be like pot, to be honest. At 25 now against a rec. I like it. And for anybody listening that said they bet a third, go learn poker. I don't know what to say. This is the prime spot where if you go small, they're never going to check raise anyway, because no one ever check raise bluffs on king jack deuce. If you go small, they're going to call with the exact same fucking range than if you go big. So betting a third here would be absolutely atrocious, no matter what your solver says. All right, so we got a squeeze and we got called. If he's a reg, this is a very narrow range, but there's a good chance that he's not. Just given the fact that he did 3-bet pre and then still fucking whatever. So what are you thinking here?
Um, so yeah, his range. I kind of didn't. I kind of put him on that narrow range that you're talking about. I kind of decided that he's very heavy in eights through fives sort of hands, and therefore like we kind of just want to mash it versus those. Um, or like we want to get them to fold a street at some point, particularly with this hand as well. We don't mind putting in plenty of money. So I decided, if we can bet small here, we can get them to call once, particularly if they have a club, and then on a non-club turn we can blast, and he just doesn't have very many hands that can put up with three streets here.
Yeah, so his range here is going to be a lot of like medium pairs, like you said. There's also going to be some suited broadways, maybe some like ace jack, some ace queens, ace 10 suited, stuff like that. And maybe it's efficient. He just has jack 10 off as well. You always got to keep in the spaz equity, as I like to call it. Don't know if you get cancelled these days for that, but that's what I used to call it.
It's it's too late for that, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So my thing would probably be, as you said, get a call on the flop from his weaker hands and then just bomb the turn. So I'd probably go a size that I might even try and get a call from like eights no club, king 10 no club, hands like that. Which obviously they might technically be getting the right price, but if we're just going to make them fold on the turn, all we're doing is extracting value on the flop. So out of interest, people in the Zoom chat, if you were to try and target king 10 of spades and eights no club, what size would you see bet here to get them to call? We got 2 BB, we got 4 BB, 4 BB. 3.2, 2.8. I like 3.2. 3.2 sounds kind of sexy. Yeah, I dig 3.2. Tom, you win it. Let's see what Adam did. I don't hate any size, to be honest. I can't think of a size, like a normal size that would be bad. 5.4 sounds completely fine. Yeah, like I said, you're probably getting folds from king 10 of spades now, king queen of spades, which is obviously not good. But you're still getting more value here versus when he does have like eights with a club and whatever, jack 10 with hearts. So I don't hate it. And now the question is, do you have it in you to pull the fucking trigger?
What do you mean by pulling the fucking trigger? Because I just want to go 2 streets here. Like a kind of normalish bet, like close to like 2E, basically.
Yeah. So here's something that a lot of people don't understand about poker. People love hero calling, but they only love hero calling the river. There's no fucking joy in hero calling turns. So what I love to do against so many people, including the best in the world, is make them think that I'm ready to shove the river. Make them think they have to make their mind up whether they want to put their whole stack in on the turn. Yeah. So, people they fucking hate hero calling turns because then you still have the emotional thing of like, oh, and then I've got to call a river bet. Whereas with the river, it's like, okay, rip the band-aid off, let's fucking see. I'll be a hero if I'm right. I'll mark my cards if I'm wrong.
You get the kind of instant gratification either way. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't have to sweat it out. So yeah, what I love to do here is just find a size that he folds everything. Find a size that he folds ace jack of spades. Guys in the Zoom chat, what size would you go to fold out ace jack of spades? We got pot 37.5, 48.2. Pot committing ourselves there. Hoping he doesn't shove. Very unlikely that he's got a hand that he's going to shove the turn, by the way, when he called the flop pretty quick. So, Darry says 2.5x, which is a shove, by the way. 21 big blinds. I'm feeling like 34, 35, that kind of size. I don't know. Your guess is it's not going to be as good as mine. Whoa, checking on the right there, no bueno.
Oh no?
Nah, these guys love to fold. Just make it like 4.5 BBs. You don't have the same thing like you do against professionals where they put you on less ace-x as well when you check. And they blast off sometimes on ace-high boards, but yeah, against these guys, I'm raising fucking 10 suited here. I'm raising so much.
Oh, okay.
Just attack it.
Yeah.
Attack it. Oh, someone needs to be let in, huh? I like it. Also like that. If you're planning on betting the river. The ace of spades deuce hand or whatever it was. Somebody needs to mute themselves quick. Mute. Got you. Is the kind of spot where you could value bet the turn to get him to call all of his like pair and straight draws and then just like 3x pot the river. It's like another option then. Just to show people that you could bet something like 2.5 big blinds here. Make sure he's going to call like 10-8 of hearts, and then just 3x pot the river. They just fold everything. Worth noting.
So just a question: if you go like 34 with the ace king here, so let's go back to the hand. If you go like 34 with the ace king here, and like don't they normally either jam or fold?
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that not a problem? We've got exactly ace of clubs, or
no? Because I just don't. It would be, but I just don't think he shoves very often.
Oh right, if you just think he folds or folds, yeah.
I think that he can jam ace jack of spades if he wants to get really sticky. We just make it really hard for him. Whereas with this one, it feels like he can call turn and then maybe like wait for a clean river and call. I've just really noticed people, they love to hero call top pairs on the river in these kind of spots. So, if he has ace jack of spades or he calls and the river's like fucking deuce of spades and you shove, people will just fucking love putting you on ace king. How have you been finding live recently?
It's been all right. I mean, it's kind of like it's pretty aggressive in terms of my bankroll management is the only thing.
Good.
So I definitely don't like mash it as much as I'd like to, maybe.
Do you think that affects the way that you play?
In some spots, definitely. I sometimes don't find that like 2x pot river jams in some good spots.
It's hard. To be fair, when you're playing 1-2 live, there are not many spots where you're meant to 2x pot river jam against as a bluff. The 2x pot river jams live 1-2 are pretty much all value anyway. I wouldn't bet this size. But I wouldn't bet this size with threes, by the way. I'd just go smaller.
What?
You bet like,
just go smaller. Yeah, sure.
You bet like 40%, but a lot of people play pretty inelastic when they're check calling or check folding in these blind versus blind spots. In fact, in most spots, are you just going for it? Huh? Love it.
Here I thought like on the flop I was thinking, okay, he just has ace-x, 6x or 7x a lot, and pretty much never 8-9 or a flush draw.
Yeah. Or you could get called by ace jack with the ace of clubs or jack of clubs and then just check river. Get the old value bluffing.
Oh. Yeah. Scott, we beat those.
By the way, fuck GTO. I love it. I love the fuck GTO. Sometimes you can tell when somebody is a student of me and not a fucking whatever upswing. I've been through it. You can 3-bet that or you can fold it. Probably fold it usually. I've been through the last however many years of my career where I'll just like say fuck GTO and I'll make a play and there'll be somebody in the chat being like, actually, that is a GTO play. And most of the time they're just wrong as well. Most of the time it's fucking not. But they're like, actually, you're not fucking GTO. And the point is that in that spot with the threes, you're not only doing that with threes. even if it was GTO, which is definitely not, you're also doing that with pretty much every hand that you get with there. It's a bluff, which is the important thing. All right, so we see we're pretty small on the queen 10, right? Yeah, I like this a lot, but tell me your reasons.
The main reason is it looks like the kind of board that people might find a lot of check races with.
That's exactly it, dude. You're done. You're done. You're fucking crushing it. Yeah, that's it. A lot of people are going to find against the third. They're going to find their 6-7s, their fucking 10-9s, their jack 10s. They're gonna find all this stuff we have almost dead. And if you go 3/4, they often don't. So that's literally all I needed to hear. And if other people are thinking about it in different ways, it's fine. But yeah. And it's not like you can go 3 huge streets of value very often with this exact hand on this exact board as well. So it's not like you're building a huge pot on the flop to go huge on the turn and huge on the river, because the board's gonna 5, 6, 7, jack 10, jack fucking king ace. It's not the nicest spot. All right, now there are a few options, many of which are good, some of which are bad. What are you thinking on the turn with the queen 10?
So with the queen 10, I'm thinking, okay, there's still going to be a lot of 8x, not many worse queen x, and now some jack x as well, because you can still have like king jack, jack 10, jack 9. So I mostly want to target those hands, and I think given the fact there's loads of draws available on the board, I think you can get value from them by going still quite big, but not like huge. So I think I went for like 6 or 6.25 or something.
I like it, yeah. I'd probably go a little bit bigger. And it's a delicate balancing act here, because in some regards you're absolutely correct that a lot of his range is going to call around that size. But then there's another portion of his range, 8-9 of diamonds, ace 4 of diamonds, fucking ace 10 of diamonds. Then fucking jack 7 of hearts. There's a shit ton of hands that are going to call basically any size you go up to, like fucking 3x pot. So this isn't a hand that you want a 3x pot for sure. If you had like 10-9 of spades, then maybe you want to go like fucking 2.5x pot. Make sure they're not getting the right odds, but still getting the maximum value. So I like targeting all of the the jack 10s, king jacks of the world in this spot, but it's definitely important to note consciously that there are a lot of hands that will call basically any size. So given that, you can go a little bit bigger just to make sure you're charging those too. You can end up going like pot here to check all rivers, apart from maybe an offsuit queen, and yeah, that's it. But yeah, I if somebody made the argument for your size being better, I wouldn't vehemently argue against it. Calibrate. I can't believe I couldn't fucking think of that word. Calibrate. It was honestly, I probably spent a good 45 minutes of my last 3 days trying to think of that word, just describing it. Got thesaurus up and everything. Yeah. Nothing. Right, good. Cool. Get set. Don't worry about it. Lead? Question mark?
So I did think about it. It depends a lot on who they are, right? Because if they have all these kind of like 8-9, 6-7, 5-6 3-bets, then it becomes a lot worse. But if they just have like loads of like suited broadways instead, then it becomes really good.
Yeah, I think even if they have the other stuff, you can lead like a quarter here and they just fucking, or like a third, and they just have to throw it away. It's not the best spot in the world to do it, just because he ends up with having a lot of backdoors or gut shots of queen jack or whatever on these exact boards. If it's like a couple of pips lower the boards, then it's a lot better. But could have used the word synchronized, but I just wanted that exact word yet. But now I got it, and we're in a safe place. All right. So Najdorf, Lee. So obviously you can have a bunch of ace highs, but obviously that's not it. So it's not the best spot to be thinking loads about because it's hard to work out too many assumptions. It would be an interesting spot if you know that he's a fish. And what would that mean if we know he's a fish?
If we know he's a fish, then he's a lot more likely to have just a size.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
So let's say we know he's a fish. What size would you go here? Or would you
Pretty small. Maybe like 4 or 5 big ones.
Yeah. I might go a little bit bigger because that hand is really fucking vulnerable. But yeah, something like that. Or you could go 4 big blinds and then like 2 big blinds on the river and just try and get max value. So yeah, maybe your size is better. Yeah, I like yours better. And against the potential fish and potential reg, ain't bad to do this as well. And check.
Trying to remember. I think I might have gone for a bit of a greedy.
Oh my god, that's so
value
greedy.
there.
That's the greedy. This is the greediest greed I've ever seen in my greed. There's no way. There's no
ambitious.
way that people will call ace king there. There's no way. You can see it on your face, like, well, whatever it was. You can definitely VPip this in either direction. Yeah, call's fine because the recreational player. 3-bet's also fine in general, but also he'll be opening wider on the recreational player's big blind. So either one's fine. I like overbetting here. I imagine you don't find it, but I love an overbet here.
Because the button always bets it to have a good hand, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's capped at fucking ace 7 or something like that. You know, this guy here, Gerald, he can have a bunch of hands, but just because the board is high and he didn't 3-bet, you know, it's hard to have fucking too much. So I'd just go a size that I would get Gerald off an ace. You know, so if he's sitting there with like ace 3 offsuit, what size do you think you'd have to go to get Gerald off an ace?
Probably like 10.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe like 12, something like that. Get your answers out in the chat. What size do you have to go to fold a fish off an ace here? Sometimes it's like fucking shove, but it depends on the guy. Task things 12 agrees with me. 15 minimum says you.
15 minimum.
Jesus Christ.
Hey.
13 from Chi being pernickety. I am checking the Twitch chat a little bit. Expecting 50 from Chi. Damn, how much does that feel like fucking nothing, huh?
Not enough for me to find a check raise.
No, fucking no, obviously. Yeah,
It's pretty ambitious.
I don't have it in me. We meet again, Mr. Gerald. He's given us a lot of information. He's Polish, and he's like 26 years old. Who's in the background?
Oh, my slideshow changes a lot. It's just like cool wallpapers.
Ah, so you don't know who these are? Who these people are?
Oh, these are characters from Detroit Become Human.
The what, human?
Shout out anyone that knows that game.
What's it called?
Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human.
It's about androids that break free of their programming and start having emotions and shit.
It sounds sick. It does sound like the
Cool.
world is running out of normal names or cool names to call things. I always think that with films, we're getting through all of the cool names, and you just got to come up with like funkier and funkier names. UK Raz, yeah, I probably call a 3-bet this, depending on your assumption about whether this is his normal size. I like the 3-bet.
I didn't really make an assumption, to be honest. I kind of just thought I have a hand that I like 3-betting.
Cool. All right, this is a tricky spot. Now, a lot of people will be making a lot of mistakes in this spot, probably including me, because the assumptions that have to go into how people are going to play their range when in finding sizings in these kind of spots is fucking tough. So tell me everything that goes through your head.
So my justification here was that my hand really doesn't mind getting a fold now. Like I'm not trying. Like I don't think it's worth trying to get stuff to call to then fold later. And I'm probably I don't want to get check raised with this hand. This is the short version.
Yeah.
So I decided to bet kind of big because I don't want to get check raised.
I love it. Me too. Yeah, my thinking is probably to go bet shove, but you can't go small enough that he's going to think that he has a cheap fucking check raise with whatever. Yeah. And yeah, so you want to go a size that he's going to raise his value hands, you know, if he has fucking set or whatever, but that he's not going to raise his bluffs. So I'm thinking like 13, something like that. It's a very delicate art getting in the head of a 25 NL player.
My thing there is that like even with his value hands, do we even want him to not check raise those?
No,
sorry, do we even want him to check raise those?
We definitely want him to check raise just because some of them have us drawing dead.
Oh yeah.
And we don't get any value when we hit our straight anyway. Maybe on the 5 we do actually, it might not be true. But on the okay, so this is good. We just fucking fold it. I love it. You're playing really well.
It's good to see. I haven't started dusting it yet.
No, I'm sure you've got some dust in you. It's hard to drop down to 25 and not dust. I think honestly,
to be fair, go on.
I was gonna say honestly, when I first did the Bankroll Challenge and I was playing 2-0, it just took me a good like session and a half to realize that I just can't bluff, you know. Yeah. And when you're moving down stakes, it's so counterintuitive not to do that. Definitely lead this flop, 100%. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. I have to say, I do feel like I was playing a lot more consciously just because I knew I was recording. Yeah, like, I feel like that's a big part of it for sure.
Yeah, and that can go both ways as well.
Yeah,
you can play better or you can play worse. Yeah, this hand definitely doesn't want to see a check, so I'd lead the flop always.
Sure.
Fucking 25 and out players with their normal 3-bet sizes.
What world are we living in?
Yeah. I used to live back in the days when even the 500 Zoom players would fucking 4x it.
I think my line here on with the 6-4 is a bit dodgy, to be honest.
I like it. I just min bet the river instead. But I like it. You're not ahead too often, but you know he's going to go a lot worse anyway. See what you do, then I'll ask you about it. Yeah, this confidence thing can tell by the fact that you're just tanking for ages. You can really feel it in the footage when I'm watching a student that's confident. They're like smashing the 25%, the 30%. If you've ever watched Rafa play, he's fucking like mashing that button. He's fucking boom. I'm surprised he doesn't break a mouse every session because he's fucking confidently going through all those different sizes.
Yeah,
and it really shows. Where someone's like delicately putting like one more big blind, another big blind, I really feel that they need a little confidence boost. All right, so your sizing here, I like it. You're charging some weaker hands. If he happens to have fucking 8, 7, 8, whatever, you're not making it small enough that he's likely to bluff, which is sometimes relevant. And you got to bet your hands because it's so vulnerable. There's no good turn cards. And the plan is to fold versus a raise. Yes, Tess. And guys, if you want to be part of the Zoom chat where we're all talking hands and you can have your footage involved, go over to epiphanypoker.com and check out the Elite package for $57 a month. These guys are getting shit ton of value from it. Why aren't you? What's your excuse? Can't afford it? Fine, that's fine. All right. But if you can, what the fuck is your excuse? Or you could join for free and not be in the elite part, but it's still fucking fun. I'd probably bet the turn.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It depends how often you think you're ahead, how often you think you're behind. But when you check calls, he's got a lot of 10-9s, 9/8s, pocket 8s, 7/8, fucking pocket 5s, whatever. Maybe some like ace 10s with a spade. There's a lot of hands. I just go bet checker. But he can also have better hands, of course. He can have 10s, specifically 10s. Maybe aces.
Do you think he's very, doesn't have any flushes, really?
He can. Yeah. He's just going to check.
There's enough worse stuff to that. Sure.
Yeah, he's just going to check all of them anyway. So you just go bet check. Ugh. Yuck. And now we're in a tough spot. Because now all of the hands that we beat, they would just check. He's not finding the right amount of bluffs here. He's not turning some fucking, I don't even know what you bluff it, like 7/8 into a bluff. Is he gonna turn up here with like ace king with the ace of spades? Probably not against the flop sizing we chose. So like, what are we looking at as bluffs? Fucking ace 10. That's it. King 10 maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to pick that.
It's looking dire. So I think it's just a fold. If anyone else in the chat wants to name some bluffs in case I've missed some, fucking have at it. Tom says, one thing that makes the big flop size harder to work with is that he doesn't check raise his overpairs / flush draws nearly as often. Can make visibility of range harder on later streets. I think that's a fantastic point. I don't know, Tom. What stakes are you playing? I feel like you're playing high stakes these days, huh? Tom is always just had a fucking knack for exploitative poker. I don't know what he does with his life at the moment, but fucking hell, that's a very good point. And yeah, one that I should probably talk about. So with the sizing that we chose on the flop, we chose a size that he's probably just going to be check calling his overpairs. Whereas if we go smaller, he's probably going to be check raising them. So actually going smaller might be a better option if we think that he doesn't find enough bluffs versus small, which is probably true.
Yeah. See, I kind of doubted that overpairs would check raise versus small.
I think tens wouldn't,
what do you think about that?
but I imagine aces would against like a quarter pot. I imagine they would.
Sure.
Anyway. Fucking hell, there's a minute. Tom's playing 200 to 1k, huh? Yeah, you can 3-bet these sometimes, but call sign. What are you saying there?
I think what I'm saying is, he checked this board. That's weird. I just expect people to just bet all the time.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I feel like I'll bet most hands like fairly big, but ace 5 is probably good enough to check.
Yeah, I like it. You're playing. Your thought process is really good. Like really, really good. I'm not seeing any punts. There's like a confidence thing. There's like the main thing. But your range analysis is good. So you're not doing anything stupid. Yeah, the deuces bet was kind of funky, but apart from that, no, that's good. You're playing better than 50 an hour for sure. Maybe you struggle versus like GTO players. What do you think stopped you from moving up? Or maybe it's just the time that you don't have because you're teaching.
Yeah, it's basically just like a commitment, money, like all that stuff kind of thing. Basically,
right. Yeah, well, I
Basically.
hope that this can give you a little bit, because usually, I don't know if you watched me fucking last time with Paco. Paco's phenomenal. He's crushing fucking 5-10 live, but every hand I had like 3 things to say.
Yeah.
Because he was just making a lot of like very easy mistakes to solve. But your pre-flop's good, your sizing's really conscious. You're not making any huge punts. Unless
set mining here, yeah.
Unless you really want to put this guy on ace king, which I wouldn't hate, to be honest. Sometimes I'm just in a mood where I'm like, you know what? I've decided that you currently have ace king against these kind of spots, and I'm like, I'm gonna play as though I 100% know you have ace king, and sometimes they just don't, But when they do, it's not a jam test. It's not a jam. It's a call. It's a call and outplay them post. This is a bad call.
Right. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I was thinking like, okay, this is just a fold, and then I had kind of an intrusive thought where it's like, oh, but doesn't he have 5s through 8s? Like always say.
Yeah. It's just that all of the other hands. Yeah. Either you're ahead and he's gonna bluff you, or you're behind and he's just got you dead. I do like to 3-bet bigger against regs these positions. Call's fine as well, whatever. But if you're gonna 3-bet, I do like to 3-bet bigger because I've realized that when I get 3-bet small in these positions, I'm really fucking happy with like 7s, whatever else, ace 10 suited. But when they go this size, it like puts so many of the hands in such an annoying spot. So I do like to 3-bet smaller than most people in late positions, but out position. But in this one, I do like the big size. Yeah, I tend to just blast off in these spots. I've noticed that people do like to go call fold a lot in these kind of situations. And by checking, you're kind of putting your hand face up. So I
have forces you to fold there. Yeah.
Yeah. Even now, honestly, I'd probably just min raise it. Yeah, and just be like, okay, maybe you're bluffing with king 10 of hearts, whatever, or king jack of hearts, whatever you call pre. Maybe you have jack 10, and maybe you're betting a size with like pocket 6s, or whatever the fuck people turn up with, maybe 9s, and then I'll just min raise and then bet 10, and they usually fold. Tom says a lot of Charlie being a bad influence at this point. Yeah, I finally found the perfect student that doesn't punt. I'm like, I'll probably just min raise this one, to be honest, mate.
Nah, if you don't punt, there's a problem, right?
Yeah. Have you ever thought of min raising and trying to bluff a fish off a big pet? Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I do feel like the confidence thing that would be indicative of somebody without confidence, just check folding that flop. Whereas when you're in the confident mindset and you're just like a red line grinder, you're like, I'm gonna find a way to beat this motherfucker in the pot. I'm gonna find a way. He's gonna have to have a good hand here if he wants to win this pot.
I see.
She says, if you don't punt, guess I have to do it myself. True that. I like the open with jack 8 suited, by the way. That was good. And the fish is big blind. We need a new word for fish. Fish feels derogatory, but recreational player seems too long, and rec sounds too much like reg. We need a new word. Bunny might be good.
I don't like the word fun player.
No, that's so demeaning. It's like what you call a little kid, fun player. They'd be like, it's so obvious that you're trying not to call them a fish by calling them a fun player.
Yeah.
VIP maybe, if you're playing high stakes, but.
What about the word lad?
I like that. All right, for the rest of the session, we'll test it out and see what other people
see if it sticks.
I think that could actually be pretty good because it's not derogatory. It's short. It doesn't sound like any other word. It's like when you're coming up with a phonetic alphabet, you have to like find a short word that doesn't sound like other words.
And it sounds like a positive thing as well. Like there's a positive association with it.
I like it, guys. Can we make lad a thing? Everyone good? Everyone agree? Lad? for fucking fish and whales, or like super lad or something. We'll come up with a whale one, but for fish we can call it lad. I like it. All right, so we're opening with lad and the button. Just gotta get used to it. Gotta stretch it out. I wonder if it is higher EV to have an attractive girl as your profile picture to like distract all the fucking sins.
I had a phase where do you know on Unibet you've got you can do like multiple aliases.
Okay.
And I decided to go for one where I was pretending to be a woman and like hoping people would pun up into it.
I think that's probably very good, to be honest. I think that's
maybe at higher stakes, but not the stakes I was playing.
Yeah. So this is probably not a lad because they got the deuces as the thing, which is usually a reg, trying to pretend to be a lad, and so we can assume this is probably a wannabe professional, a grinder. Call him. So what are we thinking? Everyone in all the chats get the sizes out that you'd see bet, by the way.
So, I think if they're kind of thinking in a very like GTO way, then they're probably going to assume that I can bet a pretty big size, and they'll probably be pretty like whatever about it. Does that make sense? Like maybe not an over bet, but if I bet like 80% here, they'll think, oh, that's just the size that he's chosen on this board, whereas actually it's because I've got this.
I agree with that. I agree that you can basically choose any size here, and they will think you're balanced. But there is a selection of hands that I want to get value from first.
Yes.
I want to be thinking about what's the max they'll call. And so let's say you're sitting there with like King 3 of hearts. What do you think the max they'll call is?
Like 3.8.
Yeah, like 4 maybe. Yeah,
like 4. Yeah.
I like it. I
might have been a bit more greedy than that if I recall correctly.
Yeah. The main value here comes from King X. And he can have King 10, King Jack, which will just cool down fucking everything.
Yeah, and he's not really check raising this board light either, so it's not. There's no reason to go.
Nobody in the history of poker has ever check raised bluff this board. I can say that without
never happens.
Absolute confidence. Linus love fucking anybody. Nobody's ever check raise bluff that board.
We've got to stop doing it then.
But the reason you never check raise bluff is whoa, don't fold that.
Well, yeah, we've got the King 3?
No, the ace 8. Oh my goodness.
Oh
my goodness, my eyes. This is the first punt of the day. Tell me why you folded it.
I don't know.
A lad is limped under the gun. I love this word, by the way. A lad is limped under the gun. We have to put in 0.6 big blinds to see a fucking flop.
Yeah,
my two options here are call or 6.5 big blinds. Or like 7 big blinds. Because you want to, if you want to raise the size, you're going to get a shit ton of folds. But calling is like mandatory at least. You have to at least call here. I'm calling fucking 5-3 suited, fucking King 8 offsuit. Shitty hands because you're getting good odds and you don't get raised very often.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, we found the punt, and it was the most anticlimactic punt I've ever seen.
Oh, that's huge.
What?
Do we start calling fishy poker vlog channels like lad Bibles? That's so good.
Yeah, that could be pretty good actually. I like that. It's getting a little bit derogatory pretty quickly already. So maybe not.
The thing is that any word you choose will.
It'll eventually. It has to, because you're describing someone as bad.
You have to tonally say it like it's a positive association.
Yeah,
that's what's going to make it.
And to me, it is. It's not a bad thing to be a lad. You're just not a professional poker player. It's fine, or you are, in which case it's not the best. If you're still a lad. Yeah, you got to call this because he's gone small. This guy's probably a lad, just judging by the sizes.
What Bluffy Rabbit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that gets confirmed later on.
Nice.
So that's good to know, but I didn't really spot that just from this.
Yeah, usually regs will just 3-bet bigger in that spot.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
won't. So you can label me whatever the fuck you want. Because I'll treat it that size.
You're one of the lads, Charlie, at heart. Yeah.
Could you make a video about opening pre-flop? I'm actually intending to do an opening Rangers video because I made one and then I lost it. Or deleted it or something. Somebody says you press the raise button to open pre-flop. That is correct. That is how you do it. I'd usually 3-bet the ace 10 blind versus blinds on these stakes. I don't think they 4-bet bluff enough.
So I kind of feel like, or something that a heuristic that I've had for a long time, I don't know if you agree with, is that like with these kind of middling Broadway stuff in these kind of spots, you just want to keep in the dominated.
It's a good heuristic. In general, these hands play really well in against good players because you can start raising really really wide on like 10 and ace high boards. You get a shit ton of value by doing that, and blah blah blah. If you want to go high stakes, then it helps you range out. But I might just fold the turn then.
Yeah.
I take it back. I would have called. No, I would have folded. But in these stakes, a lot of the value just comes from them just fucking calling the worse hands pre-flop anyway, and not 4-bet bluffing you enough. But cool's fine. I've noticed that 200 zoom plays way different to 200 on GG, which is interesting. Like way different. 200 zoom's tough. 200 on GG is like the easiest game I've ever played. It's really interesting that even though you'd think that the regs would kind of like share which sides they play on, it's still such a stark difference.
I'm curious what you think of this ace king hand.
Yeah.
I feel like I might have knitted out on the streets. I always thought it. But...
Look at this lack of confidence though. It's like
it's been a while, honestly.
Yeah.
I was really
you just got to smash it. You just got to come to a decision, and be like boom.
Yeah.
You got to have the energy behind it.
I don't think it helps that the last time I was like playing online cash for a long time, I was like I'd kind of dusted.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps. So yeah, it's definitely some.
I have no idea what you mean by you're gonna knit out here.
Well, I checked back right there. Do you think that's just?
I think then you're actually gonna check. That's crazy. I cannot. But guys, get your emojis out in the chat for this fucking check on the river. Everyone get his fucking whatever emoji you think suits this fucking check on the river, and tell me what size you would bet as a fucking alpha male, not little pussy-o. Tom makes a very good point. The turn timings are very, very fishy. The snap calls and the fact that he called pre-flop is a very fish label. So we definitely know this guy's a lad. Sorry. Oh god, yeah. Get your judgmental emojis out in the chat, please. You get some crying faces, some laughing faces. Somebody said ladder. Chi, I don't know what that means, but you're a ladder apparently. Add ladder. I don't know if that's the thing. So what sizes would all of you alpha males go? I want to get the alpha males out in the chat. We've got a whale. We've got a heart. We've got an oh no again. I don't actually know what that means. I guess it just means oh no. Not like this. Get your sizes out in the chat. What would you guys do? Something like 75%. What an alpha male. 24 big blinds. What a fucking alpha. 2/3 alpha male galore. Get Queen X to call. We love these alpha males. Yes. Anyone in the Zoom chat? We've got a banana. 11 big blinds. 40%. You know what I'm doing here, Adam? Just trolling everyone.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, no, I'd check as well.
Oh, well. No, I got completely bizarre. I was like,
you
what?
fucking punters! You don't bet 40%!
I was like, what?
You bet half! You bet 8 bigs! You bet 17.8! What are you doing? You fucking you bananas! What are you going to do if he raises? What are you going to do? Fold? He might be bluffing. What's he going to call with? Fucking King Jack and King 10? Is that it? He might even fold those. You fucking idiots. Just because I called you alpha males, you fucking idiot. Get your own emojis
lads,
out.
Absolute lads. That's what it is.
Guys, get some Adam, what emojis should we give these guys?
Is there a lad emote? Yeah.
Yeah, fucking lad emote. Get the lads out in the chat.
Look at these lads. You got me really good. Because you said, what do you mean by a punt? And I'm like, and then when you switched tone, I'm like, what?
Thrill for action saying, I didn't see the Diamond River. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. It was just a prank, bro. Yeah, good chat, dude. No, it's completely good. He could just have a flush, you know.
You don't think we could bet like tiny?
If you bet tiny, you have to decide what you're going to be doing versus a check raise. Right. So you can definitely be STI here. If you feel like maybe the timing tell was, but the timing tell wasn't there. No, I just like the check. I just like it.
Cool.
Never Sake says thought we had top set. I check, of course. That's funny. Man, I love trolling people. They're all like, "Yeah, I'm a fucking alpha." I would have bet 3x pot. You know what I'm saying? That
was a good one. Cannot wait to look back at the touchdown.
Yeah. You guys are probably all Andrew Tate fans. Right, you're probably all like, "Oh my god, if I follow this guy, I'm an alpha male." I could if I join the Hustlers University, I'm gonna be the big dog of this.
It's an epidemic among kids. I have to say.
Is it really?
I'm realizing how bad it is. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not the worst epidemic in the world. I honestly I'd prefer somebody to go into that one than to go into like the hard wokeness.
I can see that, but it's still not good. It's just like the lesser of two evils, maybe.
Yeah.
And even that's tenuous, I would argue.
Yeah, fair enough. No, it's fine. It's pretty toxic. Shouldn't be in jail though. Let's get political here. Shouldn't be in jail without being charged. Fucking Romania. Can't just fucking hold someone in jail for fucking months without any charges. Fucking. Ugh. Rewind, he folded ace 10 pre. Yeah, he folded small blind versus cutoff. It's fine. I like to peel there, honestly. I'll get fucking every GTO bot in the chat telling me it's terrible to call out small blind versus cutoff with ace 10 off, but you come at me. I love it. I got a postal up edge, they got ace 2 suited in their range.
Business lad?
Business lad.
That's good.
I like that. Business lad. This lad means business. Means it's just a lad with loads of money. Alright, there's like 1.5 million ways to win this pot against a recreational player, as long as your plan is to win the pot no matter what. So actually, it's probably worth me saying, this is a spot where if this guy has nines, I'm going to win the pot. If this guy has ace high, I'm going to win the pot. If he has a flush draw, unless he hits, I'm going to win the pot. The only time I'm not going to win the pot is if he has a hand that hits, like a draw that hits, or he has a 6 or pocket 5s or aces.
Yeah,
sure.
Sure. So I think I can see that on one of the streets, but yes, that makes sense.
Yeah. You can check raise, you can see bet, you can do loads of stuff, but against the lad here, they're not going to find the right cooldowns on like turn queen or whatever.
Mm. I think I maybe gave too much respect to the like 7s, 8s, and 9s, whereas actually like those hands are probably not getting to showdown.
Oh my goodness, what a dream! Oh no! Oh, he just said, hey Adam, would you like 5 of my big blinds? Would you like $1.25 to go home with? I'm feeling really generous today. All you have to do is press the raise button and it's yours. It's all yours. Isn't that beautiful? And obviously, the people in the chat know that the reason that we're raising there is because, as somebody in the Zoom chat, the elite chat said, just go check out epiphanypoker.com if you want to find out what I'm talking about. As Tom said, we double block trips. And of course, everyone in the Twitch chat knows that's super important. And we're unblocking the backdoor flush draws that are potentially raising as a bluff. King, queen of diamonds. It's very important to be unblocking that when we're 3-betting against the hand that's going to be folding 100% versus 3-bet. It's so important that we're unblocking that. And I'm sure none of you guys would get debated by that. Yeah, only alpha males know that it's important to be unblocking the backdoor flush draws. That's exactly right, Tom. So you guys in the Twitch chat, you're all alpha males, right? You love the fact that we're unblocking backdoor flush draws, right? Because that's what alpha males know. This is probably a good way to teach people. Just fucking troll them into embarrassment.
I called it this time. Good. I'm happy. I got this one. I got the prediction in.
Well, yeah, we should get some Twitch polls to see if people think I'm trolling every time I say something. Alright, cool. Whatever.
Wait, but you weren't trolling about the reason why we win the pot, right? Like you still want
No. You got to win the pot just because he's going to fold everything. When he raises he's got sevens. He's told you his hands, and you can min raise the flop. You can 2x's raise. You go huge, whatever it is. Just fold.
Float and then blast someone with a future straight.
Yeah, float's dicey because you do need to hit like a high card. Maybe you don't. Maybe float's kind of sexy. I don't know. But I think I like just fucking min raising and then just blasting turn, so you get a little bit more value.
Sure.
Hoping to join Elite in a month or two. Do you accept crypto as payment? I do. What stops you from joining now, my friends? The bankroll thing, bankroll management. You guys, I'm giving so much fucking coaching at the moment to people in my Twitch. I usually charge $500 for an hour of coaching, and I get a good line of students, more than I can handle. I have to say no to a bunch. And I'm currently doing it for fucking free. And for the guys in the Zoom, they're paying $57 a month. And not only do they get all this coaching, they're also getting access to all of my fucking bankroll challenge and masterclass and all of that shit. It's pretty fucking sexy if you ask me. All right, we got ourselves a dream scenario. Why is it a dream? Because not only can we hit our hand, but we can also hit a 9 to bluff him, a jack to bluff him, or a 6 to bluff him. So this is the absolute dream. We can hit a king, queen, spade, 9, jack, 6. And these are our outs. You might think that we only have king, queen, spades, but we don't. We've got the other ones too. There we go. Perfect. Club's a little bit more messy, but still, we'll take it.
Yeah, this gets weird.
What? I guess we're all in. What do you think?
Basically what I thought as well, yeah. So I thought, because he's a lad, because he's 3-bet me out the big blind, because he's bet, he's probably just got aces or kings.
Yeah.
And then he bets the turn, and I'm like, huh? What?
Yeah,
So
Tom's making a good point. This does feel like the kind of guy that doesn't want to fold.
Doesn't like folding overhead.
He's seen the 4 to a straight, and he's like, I'll bet 3/4 or 2/3 or whatever. And
it's probably not folding.
He can also have a ace king or ace queen of clubs, which is also a thing, but or a set of jacks of tens. So
yeah, so could maybe call.
Maybe call. To be honest, could maybe call. But shove's fine. Instinctively, I said shove because it does feel more like he's got aces, and he's probably going to fold it. But logic says call might be good as well. But it's never terrible to shove it because even if he fucking has a set, you're fine.
Yeah.
Sounds like from the way that you're reacting to this, it sounds like he called and you lose, or call and get there maybe, I guess.
He called.
Yeah. You got to balance your tone so people are
I need to get better at trolling. Clearly,
you can. Oh, okay. Well, if he's tanking jacks, I mean it's probably fine.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And he cashed out.
What a lad.
Cash out just sucks.
Guys, if you're ever cashing out at home, you're a lad. And I love that about you, you lad. I actually like checking this King Jack against professionals mostly, because no one ever bluffs unless they turn like an open ender or something like that. Fucking they don't like bluffing. Way to check back.
Does it not? Do you not think it makes it really obvious that I just don't have an ace? Did I do that?
No, I mean people check back ace X all the time on these boards. It makes it,
shit.
to be honest, it makes it more obvious that you have some kind of showdown value, and then they don't want to bluff. It looks like you have an ace or pocket kings.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate a float on the left here. I can't imagine you're going to because the mood you're in, but I wouldn't hate a float.
No, of course I wouldn't. Of course I wouldn't.
Oh my goodness, I love it! Yay! And now we've got a float again. Fucking hell.
Fuck. Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. Got to do that.
Alright. I actually would probably raise it. Because his sizing doesn't feel like two pair, does it? His sizing feels like a bluff or like ace jack or ace nine.
It doesn't feel like he's trying to maximize versus an ace, put it that way,
Yeah. Doesn't feel like a set for sure.
Yeah, so. Yeah, see, it's probably a good idea. I was just like.
That's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Really
Not to
no, I was
be. It's
thinking
fine. It's fine not to be ridiculously sticky. This A6 spot is such an annoying spot where there's not a single human on earth that knows how to get value. There's no way you can get. Yeah, I think I like big. I like big and then give up and then check river. I mean.
Yeah, I felt like with here, I felt like, well, firstly I didn't really realize that Bluffy Rabbit was a bit of a lad, but also I was like, if I bet small, then it looks like I have like queens, jacks, kings like always. And if I bet big, it looks like I'm much more weighted towards things like queen, jack, king, jack.
Whoa, did we just overbet?
But maybe I'm one level too high.
Wait a second. We just overbet C-bet. Did I see that right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Guys, get your emojis out in the chat for this C-bet. Get your emojis out in the chat. Everybody get your emojis out. What are we thinking? What's your thought process here, lad?
I wanted to fold. Kind of. It's just that my hand's super vulnerable and he is going to struggle to play against this line. More or less. Maybe that's not refined enough, but it felt right.
What are you trying to make him fold?
Everything that's not a king or a draw or a strong draw.
I feel like a 7-8 calls it. And like 8-9, 8-5, clubs.
Yeah. There's a lot of other stuff.
King X. Yeah, but the other stuff folds anyway to like a third. Like what extra are you folding out by overbetting it versus going a third?
Maybe like 5s, 6x.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's not much.
Or like the kind of floaty hands like 10-8, 8x with a club.
Wait, apparently they can hit you twice, and that's probably my mistake. Why did nobody tell me? You fucking punters. Alright, tell me if this sorts it out. Say something.
Wait, can they hear the recording from the video?
No, they'll be able to hear you as an echo. Alright, tell me. Alright, that's better. Fuck. You
is that
bastards! That's been happening for an hour and 13 minutes, and you only just told me.
Damn it.
Only just told me. Motherfuckers. Alright. So yeah, terrible C-bet. Not a spot to overbet C-bet. There are very few spots where overbet C-bet's going to be good, and that's definitely not one of them.
Sure. What would you do then? Because I think it was maybe just I don't know what to do here. Fuck it.
C-bet small, fine for protection. Check down, try and win versus ace high, also completely fine. That's all. I'd probably C-bet. C-bet third.
Sure.
I wouldn't 3-bet this either. Nines are very hard. 8s and 9s and 7s are very hard to play in 3-bet pots as the 3-better. Because there's just so many overcards.
You don't really barrel very often.
Yeah, it's just a lot of really shitty boards. So yeah, I'm always been that.
Cool.
All right, let's summarize here. So At first, it looked like you were doing fantastic. You were playing really kind of like straightforward, very good poker. The confidence thing is the biggest thing that we need to work on. The as the tape went along, you started kind of unraveling a little bit and playing outside of the box. And your outside of the boxes, they didn't seem like a conscious thing. Like you overbet, c-bet the deuces there pretty quickly, and then didn't have like a very concise thought process. Whereas when we were talking before, you had concise reasons for why you're doing everything. So perhaps you could share why you think that is, why you might have unraveled over time.
Maybe there's something going on with like, oh shit, I'm clearly being too much of a nitbitch here, like, and then feeling like I need to adjust back in the opposite direction,
right,
or like find some creative.
You're like, shit, I've been playing too well. I've got to get some fancy play syndrome going.
Exactly right. Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's kind of the most obvious explanation for that.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, so Tass asked the same thing that I was wondering. Like, do you think there's a chance you were tilting after getting stacked? Like subtle tilt, maybe.
After the Jackson King Queen, hard to say. Like I don't think I noticed anything specifically after that. I think I definitely did after a couple of other hands that go down.
Can I just ask everyone in the Zoom chat? There's a debate happening in my Twitch chat right now. I just want you to type yes or no. Yes, if you think it's a good idea to ever cash out on PokerStars, and no if you think it's not a good idea. Well, fucking Enfu got in there before I even finished the question. All right, there. Oh wait, you can't see it. There's your democracy, guys. Just so you know, we're all voting no, never cash out, because PokerStars is taking a rake, and if you feel like you need to lower the variance, then just play lower stakes, but never. Tom says yes, provided I'm on my deathbed. Yeah, maybe if it's for like your life savings and you just happen to find yourself in that spot. Like when you're dreaming and you're playing poker for like way bigger than your bankroll, and you're like, "Fucking, how did this happen?" And then cash out if you get the option in the dream. But don't do it if you're just playing regularly, because you're just burning EV. All right, we're gonna wrap up here, and yeah, it is definitely indicative that over time you started unraveling. Really focus when you're next playing a session, and try and play some 25 Zoom. Again, just focus on keeping on that game that you were playing at the beginning. It was really good. Obviously, a more confident version is always better. And if you need to maybe even move down further stakes and just be like, okay, I'm definitely fucking crushing the 10 NL streets or the 5 NL streets or whatever, then, that's fine. But in 25 NL, you were playing way better than 50 NL. You were playing like 100 NL level. So yeah, just play that game and you'll crush. You'll crush 1-2 live if you're playing that game. Like annihilate it. So yeah, don't worry about not being confident enough. You're definitely good enough. I saw it in the way that you were saying things. I saw it in your game. You had all the right thoughts at all the right time, and then we just saw like a very quick unraveling. So if that's ever indicative of what happens when you're playing live, pay attention to that, reset, just get back in that mindset. Okay, remember that time I had this call session with Charlie and I need to get back in the A
and just
game.
like consciously try and take a moment to just get back in that headspace.
Exactly. And that sometimes just means playing pretty nitty, especially when you're playing 1-2 live. It's sometimes you'll find a table you can just annihilate and run over, but often you just got to play pretty nitty because people just hate folding when they're playing live.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure, no, thank you. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, perfect. Everyone give a round of applause to Adam. He did great. I don't want to call you Ad Lad anymore because that's got some new connotations. But
no, I like that.
Right,
that's fun. That's a good juxtaposition.
If you guys really liked this kind of style of teaching, I'm going to be doing a lot more over the next month before my little baby is born. And go check out the Epiphany Discords. Go join it. It's free to join. Eventually, these coaching sessions will be mostly only for elites, but you only have to pay $57 a month for it. It's fucking cheap for the amount of value you're getting. There's also a shit ton of other stuff in there. There's also some affiliate deals you can fucking get involved in if you're interested in this kind of stuff. Go check it out, epiphanypoker.com. Thanks for spamming it, Dr. Carbon. And let's fucking rate someone. So sleepy. Let's raid Blind Guy. I love that guy. Blind Guy. I've noticed, by the way, that people love to watch me just punt around it, playing fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars in PLO. Not many people like stick around to watch these kind of sessions. So shout out to literally everybody watching right now for choosing education over entertainment. I know it's not easy, but you fucking did it. So congrats. And yeah, keep at it. Keep at the grind of getting really fucking good at poker. We're in it together. Come check out the Discord. It's a great community. And peace. Jack says you're pretty entertaining regardless. Appreciate that, dude. Alright, raid is done. Stream is about to be over.